Where should entrepreneurs really focus? And this is a difficult question to answer. And the reason is that by the time everybody talks about certain open areas, it usually is pretty late, right? There's a lot of people who are already focused in that area. But for an entrepreneur, I would say start with something where you have an unfair advantage over somebody else. Because, and I'm specifically going to look at tech entrepreneurs. If you have actually been focused in a particular area and you really know the way the business operates, you have a rich Rolodex in that particular area, then you know something that somebody else doesn't. And that is usually a good starting point with respect to things coming up with ideas. And what we see, at least from an Angel Prime perspective, is tech-enabled businesses and hardcore technologies, right? Just you're actually creating a technology platform versus tech-enabled businesses, which actually are using that technology to create fairly disruptive change. So I would say that using a combination of mobile, social, in existing businesses is going to be a fairly disruptive trend. And by that I mean that we have fairly significant and old industries, be it manufacturing, be it in healthcare or in education, where we have existing players, where the use of technology is not that prevalent. And how, as an entrepreneur, you can actually use these technologies to cause a very significant change in that is where we are going to see a lot of action. One particular area which I am passionate about is what I would call cyber physical systems. And by that I mean systems in which you have a low-cost sensor on the customer side or on the business side, where something is being measured in a fairly cost-effective way and being sent to the cloud, and the analysis is happening in the cloud. And this has got applicabilities in a wide range of areas. And in healthcare, an example would be you're actually going ahead and suppose I could wear something which is constantly monitoring my health, and before I get a heart attack, it actually looks at the symptoms and sends the signal up to the cloud, where there is intelligence about what really the signature of a heart attack is based on all the other people who are out there, and it's able to send a direct, an emergency communication to the local hospital. It's just giving an example of in healthcare, and I think that these kind of cyber physical systems are going to be become more prevalent, because the cost of communication is coming down and the cost of actually doing analysis in the cloud is becoming more and more compelling. So that's one area which I see is basically a paradigm which is going to impact a whole host of industries, and specifically I think healthcare and education, where we are going to see compelling ideas emerge out of that. I think that is an area where a lot of innovation really hasn't happened, but we are beginning to see the seeds of that innovation really happen. And what are the seeds of that innovation? We have free courseware, very high quality courseware coming up on the net. Khan Academy is one of them, Coursera is one of them, Udacity, edX. So essentially there are a lot of open source courses which are coming out, which are as good as the best teachers in the world. Well, how is this going to impact education? And how can we use the presence of very high quality content on one side and devices which are really cost effective on another side, which are tablets, which are great viewing devices for video, mobile, which are also becoming great viewing devices for video, and very good and cheap connectivity, which is mobile, 3G and 4G, together provide the ingredients for doing an innovative business model. And I think that education is going to be one very specific area where we are going to see in the next 3 to 5 years very interesting models come up as a result of that.